He's now 4 for 14, 286 average. And that solo homer was his first extra base hit of the preseason and his second RBI. Now, he's in better shape, which should help with fatigue and injury. And I look for Vladdy Guerrero Jr. to put up the numbers this year that we thought he would as a rookie. I think he is a potential MVP candidate. I think Toronto, write it down, I think Toronto is going to surprise a lot of people this year. I'm not saying they're going to win the East. I think they're going to be a team with a winning record. I do. I think they're going to hit a ton. And I think you're going to see Nate Pearson up sooner than later. I think they could win 85 games this year. I think they finish third in the American League East. That's right. I got the Red Sox fourth. And the Blue Jays ahead of them. I love their youth. I love the energy. And another team that I really like as we move, well, I'll tell you what, I'll save that. I will talk about Brendan McKay for Tampa Bay there for just a moment. Brendan McKay threw live batting practice on Saturday. He threw about 25 pitches. This was the first action of the spring. He's had some shoulder stiffness. He said afterwards that he felt really good, felt like his arm was where it usually is at this time. And it is concerning. He's been sidelined in camp with this shoulder issue, but it sounds as though and reads as though the 24-year-old is just a few days behind schedule, should be in line for opening day, and should be on your draft board to be drafted. That is Tampa Bay starting pitcher, two-way player, by the way, not Shohei Ohtani, but Brendan McKay for the Tampa Bay Rays. Let's move to the American League West. And I want to talk about Corey Kluber for just a moment, who turns 34 in April. He's now with the Texas Rangers. We all know that. He missed nearly all of last season due to a broken arm and an oblique injury. We all know that. Prior to last season, extremely durable, 200-plus innings in 5 consecutive years. And he pitched on Sunday in his Cactus League debut against the Dodgers. And he only gave up 2 hits. Now, one of those was a homer to Enrique Hernandez in the 3rd inning. But he finished with 4 strikeouts. And if Kluber is fully healthy, don't you think he's back to being the ace that he was with Cleveland? And where I'm going with this is there a better pitching value looking at his ADP right now if he has a healthy spring than Corey Kluber? I think the 2 pitchers that to me are going to be, I don't know. The thing is, Sale, I'm going to talk about Chris Sale, but his ADP is still pretty high. Kluber's is not. I think they're in similar situations coming off injury, but the difference in the two is Sale, his ADP is still around 20, 25. Kluber's much lower than that. And I think Kluber could put up the numbers this year with Texas, both innings, strikeouts, ERA, that we were used to prior to the injury last year. So that's the report on a former 2-time AL Cy Young winner. How about a potential future AL Cy Young winner? Let's move to Oakland. And I got to talk about my boy, Jesus Luzardo, who continues to impress in minor league camp this year. He's 22. You know that. The lefty has allowed only 2 base runners over 5 shutout innings in 2 Cactus League appearances this season. Now, last year, coming in September, he had a 2.51 ERA and a 102 whip. 57 strikeouts in 43 innings across 3 minor league levels last year before finally making it to Oakland in September. And in Oakland, a 150 ERA, 0.67 whip, 16 Ks, 3 walks across 12 frames in 6 relief appearances. Now, there's going to be questions about how much rope does Oakland give him? How long will we see him on the mound this year? How long before they start limiting his innings? Workload questions, right? But you talk about a breakout candidate that's worth targeting in middle rounds of drafts, you got to talk about Jesus Luzardo for Oakland. You just have to. Now, two batters off to slow starts are Matt Olson and Matt Chapman. Olson has just one hit in his first 10 spring training at bats and 4 strikeouts. Now, small sample size, and it's spring training, and it's early March. But he's going to put up big power numbers this year. I really think Matt Olson is a huge sleeper, if you can consider him such. Matt Chapman has only 2 hits in 11 spring training at bats. One of those was a home run. And the Gold Glove third baseman should be ready to go. Last year, 36 homers, 102 runs, 91 RBIs. He's going to enter his age 27 season. His hard hit rate last year, 48.7%. His ADP is 87 to 92. Is Chapman a steal at 87 to 92? I told you earlier, shortstop and third base to me are the deepest positions in fantasy baseball this year. Chapman, there are so many third basemen. But he's a good one. And at 87 to 92, what I'm getting at is you can wait on a third baseman because Chapman is probably going to be there later in drafts. So let's close the show today by talking about a team that doesn't get talked about a lot. How about the Seattle Mariners? Yes, the Seattle Mariners and their starting pitcher, Kendall Graveman, who pitched 2 innings on Sunday. The 29-year-old threw 46 pitches, struck out 3, and allowed just 1 hit and 1 walk. Graveman, pretty good spring so far. No runs allowed through 4 innings. He had Tommy John about 18 months ago. Keep your eye on him. He's not someone talked about very often on fantasy baseball shows. If he continues to remain healthy, at least in the short sample size we've seen, he's at least worthy of being placed on your radar. Kendall Graveman. J.P. Crawford, shortstop, went 1 for 3 yesterday. He's 25 years old. He's had 5 hits and 13 at-bats. Second on the team, only behind who? Who leads the team so far, Seattle, in hits this spring? I'll tell you in just a moment. He's the next player we're going to talk about. Now, I'm not so sure that Crawford is a great fantasy shortstop, but he's going to start. It's a deep position. Better glove than bat, but he's off to a good start this spring. And the player who has the most hits so far for Seattle this spring is Tim Lopes. 1 for 2 on Sunday, an RBI. So far this spring, 7 hits, including 5 doubles, and 7 RBIs and 13 at-bats, and he's only struck out twice. Not a lot to make the opening day roster, but the 25-year-old may be finding him a role in that Seattle lineup sooner than later, and if he's hitting like this all spring, which is not likely, but if he does or something close to it, wouldn't it be difficult for Seattle not to give him that opportunity to start the year? And then Malik Smith. 2 for 2 yesterday, 2 singles. He's had 4 hits and 13 at-bats. He struck out 4 times. He's expected to be the first Mariner selected in fantasy drafts. And why is that? Because last year he led the American League in stolen bases with 46. He's going to run again this year. I think he's going to get more than 46 bases. I think his batting average last year and his on-base percentage were all-time lows. I think they're going to improve some. And I look for Malik Smith to steal 50 bases this year. Keep your eye on Malik Smith. He'd be a great fourth or fifth outfielder on your fantasy team, particularly with the stolen base potential that he brings to the plate. So, we're wrapping it up. There's a look at players and what they're doing and what they did over the weekend. I hope everyone has a great day today. I'm going to be back with you tomorrow morning. So let's watch some spring training baseball. Andrea and Lenny, be careful on your drive back. We're looking forward to hearing from you when you get back. Guys in the chat room, hey, thank you so much for being here this morning. Thank you for listening in. I ask you, please join me every morning. I really appreciate the fact that you're here with me. I love reading the comments, particularly after I finish my show. That's when I usually go back and read everything. It's a great chat room. You guys are wonderful. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow morning.